Good morning. Fancy music, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Where'd that go? Where'd it go? Should have been right there. How about that? You got that? Hold on. It's so weird. All right, let's get to this, and then we're good. Good. All right, good. Okay, here we go again. Hold on, got too much stuff on the desk. Let's grab these. Grab this. All right. Okay, here we go. Hold on one second. Hold on. All right. 2.5 minutes, we got CPI. I'll tell you what they are. I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal, but you never know. They're going to give you numbers, and those numbers that they're going to give us, we don't even know how great they are going to be. I can't believe I forgot to turn that alarm off. I'm totally not set up to be online right now. Hold on one second. Give me a second, guys. Hold on one second. Let me do this. Yeah, I'm good. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let's get this little guy going, and then he'll tell us when the number's out. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna put his little voice on. Make sure I got the speakers on. All right. For the little British guy to tell us what's up. And that's pretty much it. Let's pull up the ES. 20 seconds. Ten seconds. There he is. There he is. Boop, 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 boop. Everything's down. Yeah, they're definitely weak. So I'll just print them, and then we'll go from there, and we'll get through it. So here's consensus, and here's where you're at. Every single one came in lower. Shocked. Amazing what you can do with a number when you don't have to show the data behind it. So I'm surprised the market's actually reacting to it the way it is, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at the Qs, and where are you? So you're going to explode on this, and you're right through the call wall. So everything's lifting on it. It's a good thing. Let's see if it lasts. I'm not really falling for it, to be honest with you guys. So I don't know how long this is actually going to last, or if that's going to be the last push. Your call wall on the Qs is right there, and you're over it. And then that usually does not. Okay, that's enough of him. I'm not so sure how much I believe it. You guys do what you want with it, but I'm not chasing a darn thing on it. I don't know that you're going to stay above that. Okay, let's get rid of you completely if you're going to keep talking. I would actually be on the other side of that. Actually, I think I'm going to take the other side of it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, I took the other side of it. Let's just see what it does. Just in case I'm doing stuff, but it might go, but I don't know. It's a pretty crappy number, in my opinion. It's a really crappy number. Now you're going to push. See, if you can close over that, then I'm going to have a problem with the short, and I'll just get out of it. But if you fade here, that's where the money's going to be made. But I don't know that you're going to. It looks like it's going to take me out in a minute. See how that one closed over? Let's keep watching. I screenshotted this so I can show you guys it. And let me drop it in the room. But I call nonsense on the name. I call nonsense on the whole thing. And I call nonsense on the rally. I actually feel like they're going to fade us. And like it was like the last hit. Yay, I'm up on my short. Month over month, 0.2. Year over year, 3 versus 3.1. Here, I'll do it this way so we can look at it more. Yay. Up more on it. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Let's lock some of it in. 0.3, 3.1, 0.3, 0.4, 0.3, lower across the board. So first bar, so far you can't go any higher than that. As far as the Qs, so I think you're going to come right back into that call wall. That's what I think is going to happen. You have a big event next week, and I'm not really sure what it's going to do to the market. Like you have a really big event next week. And I truly don't know what's going to do when you start getting into, well, it's the week after. I don't know what's going to happen with the tariffs. I actually think he's going to lose in court. And the market might go up on that. Maybe that's what they're anticipating. So we'll see. You're hitting all-time highs this morning. So people are going to be like giddy. They're going to pile in. I'd be really, really careful until you see that like this is sustainable. So, you know, I'm not saying that it's not sustainable. I'm not saying that it's not going to, you know, come, you know, do its thing, but I'm already up 40 points. $35, $40. Yay. You got to get through that. Anyway, all right, what else are you doing? We should probably go through some of this. I don't know, man. I'm just, my spidey sense of this thing is like, it's not great. So hopefully I'm wrong. I make more money on the long side than the short, that's for sure. So I really would like that, but I'm just not so sure of that yet. I think that you're a little heavy, to say the least. So we'll see. So this goes. Is that it? Is that all you're going to give me? Don't do the old loop-to-loop turnaround. We were having such a good time. I was cheering for your demise. I already trimmed. Now you have to pry from my cold, dead hands. How about that? All right, let's get to it. It does look good. I really think you got to watch how this plays out. I don't know that you really want to get overly involved here. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think so. They're running my SMCI short right up there. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I married puts to it, or I married calls to it, but they're running that on me. Let's go take a look at the ES, right? You're going to hit highs. They're going to get everybody in. Look, the market's at highs. Come on in. The water's fine. Does that look fine? Anything about that look fine? Oh, I would just mark the top of that bar because what they did was fantastic. They lured everybody in with their stupid number. Really very frustrating when you have data and you can't rely on it. Like you never really could rely on it anyway. But when you have no idea how the data is even calculated, you can't see it in regards to the PPI. I just don't think people are going to just, you know, fall for the banana in the, in the tailpipe. And so it's very troubling to me. And I would be using it as being a net seller into that move. Like I'd be closing positions. I wouldn't be, oh, I got to add. I'd be going, thank God I can get out of some of the stuff I really wanted to get out of and go from there. That's how I view it. I got Willie Nelson stuck in my head. What else do I really want to go over? I mean, I don't think you're going to get above this level. I think you fade it. You know, a little fade to black, a little Metallica. I think you're going to go right through it like butter. Yay. My NQ short's working. I think that 615 is going to be a pickle. Did that camera die? Fantastic. You know what? I got a backup camera. And if nothing else, you've been entertained today by the amount of nonsense between me trying to eat 15 minutes, but it's really a bear. And I got to get out by 9. Especially when markets like this. I don't really have a choice in the matter. There we go. Now I got a new camera. This one's $20. All right, cool. I'd watch that, man. I think you're going to come down. The one thing that I think is good is this. The call wall moved up and the put wall moved up. So they're actually moving you higher, which is really good. And I do think that that's really good. I do think that that's good. And let's go to the SPY here. Yay. Do I want to trim more of this? Do I need to look at a chart to trim it? I am the chart. How about that? Oh, look at that. I'll walk you all the way back. Let's look at that 50% line. So you've already broken 50%. So I'm right. I'm going to walk this stuff all the way back. So I'd be a net seller into that. I think they gave you a gift this morning. Let's just check my levels and see if there's anything that twisted one way or another on our call walls or put walls, or if we got any more gamma, SWIP, anything here that I need to watch. People are like, well, why would it happen? It can happen off the SPX, but it didn't. So I think we're good. 670 still the cat's pajamas for the gamma, and 660. You're still down here. Let you. How many points am I up on my NQ short? Killing it, making it rain. Woot woot. Look at that! You saw the whole thing live. Isn't that exciting? What are we up? What are we up now? 60 points. Yay! See how this forms. NASDAQ's definitely stronger than the SPY, which tells me I could be wrong. Usually if they're going to panic sell, they're going to panic sell. And you've already broken, right? Yeah, you've already broken. You're not breaking. Say it. See the difference? See how you're not 50% here? Boop, boop, boom, boop. Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do, tough guy? What you going to do? There's your answer. Better hold there. It's a whole lot of pain if you break. die. Not today, Satan. Today. Do, 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 do. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Give me a sec, guys. All right, let's go to. I'll throw this over here so I can watch it. And so you guys don't have to stare at it the whole time. And then make sure I let this jump to the cues. Cool. All right, we're good. And what else we have to do? Nothing. We're good. He should have everything he needs. All right, let's go. I can just stare at it on that screen. Intel, you crazy kids are going to ask about Intel. I think Intel is going to go lower for sure. I think you're definitely going to go back to that 40. I don't think I'm telling anybody anything that they don't know, but I think you're going to go back to that 40 for sure. I think it's going to be an issue. You better hold here because that's the call wall. And we'll see if it does, see if that does actually hold here or not. Man, this uranium's trade, boy, oh boy, did they have everybody fooled there. Oof. I'd watch the Intel. I don't think the Intel was that great. I mean, if I had to say that, you know, where you should be with this. All right, out of the NQ short, if you were following along. Yay. I thought the print was good. I don't think the way that they explained it was great. You know, I don't think the way that they explained it was really good. So I do think that there's those levels. I'd watch the 40 call wall, the 4160. If you break, you know, 38 was that level. And I'd watch that. That was your breakout from earnings. So I'd watch that, see how that's going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go crazy here right now. I'm going to take questions. I think I'm better off doing that. So this morning, we're going to open about that 133 again on this. I just don't feel like you're out of the woods, you know, and that's really where my head is with it. I paid 118 for this yesterday or 2 days ago. And since then, you know, I look at how this thing's going, you know, you're up $12, $15, $16 in 2 days on a chart that looks like that. I mean, it's something. I don't know. I just don't know that we're just out of the woods on some of this stuff. Like it usually has to base. There's no chart that just does this. And goes, oh, we made a mistake, unless there's news. Let's take questions. I think that's a better use of our time. I mean, some of this stuff's definitely moving, but I don't know. I'm really very apprehensive here. Yeah, I saw that with Cloud yesterday. And I think if you look at Cloud, like it looks to me like it's getting ready to break out. It tried before to get out of this like really weird wedge one way or another, and it just didn't do it. So I'm not entirely sure what to do there. you know, I'm just not really overly sure how I want to handle it. And I know, I get it. Like I saw this breaking out. I saw it the other day. You know, I could be in one of these phases where I'm just dead freaking wrong. And after you do this for 27 years, you kind of have to start thinking like, am I wrong? Like you just realize that sometimes you're just not right. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to acknowledge it and then just go, okay, well, this is how we're going. How are we going to play it? And I see it. I love the breakout. I love the retest. And I just kind of stayed away because of what's going on out there. And I'm not sure software is where I want to be with this dude, like wielding it like a weapon. You know, like every time we're turning around, we're weaponizing industry. And it's a problem because you're long this stuff. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, you just lost China. You can't trade with China. So like, it's a real problem. You're actually better off waiting for them to weaponize it. It gets smoked and then you get involved. Because like, here's the problem, John, that I have. And this is the world we're in. So we have to play the hand that we're dealt, right? It is what it is. So like when you have something like this, you realize that these moves that are happening here aren't moves that are corporate created. They're macro created. So you're literally better off, which is really, the government and the admin, what they do. So, and it isn't good nor bad. It just is. So if you look at that, like, oh, we're going to weaponize software and then it gets smoked. You're literally better off going, well, where's the support? All right, so cool. So I'm going to buy it when it gets smoked, because then he's just going to say that you can have access to it again. So like, once you understand that, you're in great shape, right? I think you're better off doing that. But I think that what people are really missing here is the level of volatility in these names. And this goes for every stock that I'm seeing out there. And I'll show you what I mean. So this is ATR. My settings are probably different than yours, but there's like 15, right? So if you take a move, like a down move, and you look at that down move, you'll find out that down move's like a 30. It's like 2 ATR. You're seeing 2 ATRs on these big companies like it's nothing. Like it's just every day now. You saw it with Apple. You're trading 2 times the ATR. Google, like it's nothing. Like, oh, here's another day, 2 ATR. And it's not just this day was like almost a 3. It's not normal. And massive volatility usually leads to change in trend. Now, whether that change in trend is that they're going to go into the Mag 7 or not, which I do think they're doing for defensive reasons. But like, do I really want to buy this thing up $8 when I don't know if he's going to make another phone call and someone's going to bother him and then he's going to say, I'm taking away your toys, no software for you? So I have real issue with it because you have this underlying factor, and I don't think you're being paid for that factor in the market. Like a 16 VIX, like really? Like it makes zero sense to me. And here we are. So yeah, you can do it, but I mean, you're one tweet away right now, man, on this stuff when it's breaking out and hitting highs. Literally one tweet away. I do think that if you look at the macro shift in spending, this makes a lot of sense. Like the AVAVs of the world, like if they get it together, or KTOS, if these stuff start getting it together again, that makes so much sense to me, dude, because you're getting heightened scrutiny across the globe, right? You just are. And if you really go look back from April on, you have a triple. I don't see the rhetoric stopping. I truly don't see that. I see more and more contracts going out. I think you're going to have different players. I'm not smart enough to understand all the players and who's going to benefit and who's not. That's not my wheelhouse. NQ just cracked. Pop goes the weasel. Weasel goes pop. Third base. Anyone? Bueller? So you just broke the point of control there. So that's not good. Say it. Okay. So now you have a direction. So I think you have to be super careful, John. I really do. I think you're dead right on this defend. I really actually was thinking about this the other day from a thematic standpoint. Like, what's the way to do this? Like, what is the real way to do this that you can hedge out the stuff that he's dealing with? And it reminds me of like what Buffett does. And people think Buffett just, doesn't use leverage. He leverages the heck out of positions. People don't think that he does because they look at his cash position, but he keeps his cash separate. I really do think that you might be better off taking stuff like, and this is just an opinion, but taking stuff like defend or taking like I bought the living bejesus out of URA the other day because I'm just like, okay, so it's 8:55. Thanks, brother. URA, like just because it's so low beta compared to me buying OKLO, right? I think you're better off doing that, like going, oh no, I just want to own semis. So I'm just going to buy the socks, not even SOXL. I'm going to buy the socks and I'm going to lever the heck out of the trade. Like buy the lower beta versus just buying NVIDIA. And then what you're doing is by buying the lower beta trade and levering the heck out of it, you're getting the move on a larger capital because then you're getting the theme. It seems to be working a heck of a lot better. Like if you go and take a look at like UFO, right? And you start looking at this stuff from like April on, them buying the individual names, even though the individual names that I've killed it in some of these names, like KTOS, I have doubles and stuff. But when I go back and look like, okay, so I've got, those kinds of moves. But if I go and take a look at the diversification of this kind of stuff versus where it's moved, and if I levered it, I had much less sleepless nights over positions. So I think the themes are there. And I think the sector weighting of it would take out some of the crap. So like, maybe, and I know I'm going off on a tangent on this, but it's on my mind. I'm probably going to go over it on this weekend on like why it's probably going to work. But if you look at something like crowd, like, do I really want to be in crowd or do I want to be in IGV? Right? Do I want to pick the one name when he says no more security software for you? Or do I just want to be in IGV? Do I want to pick the winner of the General Dynamics? Maybe. Or maybe I just want to own the whole damn thing. Like when I go back to EUAD and we had this nailed at like 30, I don't know Leonardo. I don't know Leonardo well enough to make those decisions. You know what I mean? Like, is this the one that's going to get it or is it Rheinmetall? So I think there's something to what I'm saying. And I would think about it that way, John, a little differently. Why is it like so bright in here like the sun? So I don't know, man. That's how I'm thinking about it. Thanks, John. What do you got for me, brother? What do you got? What's going on? I don't know. I spent a lot of time on that. Sorry, but it's important. Yeah, I have a real hard time. Like, I mean, the NQ is doing exactly what I thought it would do, right? So like, you can say it, like it's doing exactly what I said, like when it happened, like just avoid it, like just fade it, and then get out of the names. So, get out into the pops. I actually think that that's the smart move to do. I really do. And I think that's paid off handsomely doing that kind of stuff. Yay, more money. But I don't know, man. I'd just be super careful. I don't know what's going on with Canada. It's just so exhausting. The whole thing's so exhausting to me. Just everything's just like a cat in a hot tin roof. Actually, every time he says something like that, just realize it'll be back on, and then just buy Canadian names now. TMQ getting the bid, uranium still the play. I think uranium is. What's that? Oh, I saw more. I would be careful with the secondary names, and what I would do really is just let them all settle in. Like, I just don't think you need to be rushing into things here, like, at all. I think that that's really going to be the mistake on a lot of this stuff, like just rushing into it, like not a care in the world. So to me, it's definitely out there. I think that's going to be the mistake, to like think, oh, everything's fine, just rush in. Like, do the trades, like trade your plan, but just make sure you ring the register while all this crap settles out. MPWR. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about this fix. We should go through this. I don't know if it continues, but the only thing that I would say about it is when I was looking at it last night, this entire move happened on like 10,000 shares. So just understand what's holding that up. I saw a lot of people talking about that, but I don't know. Absolute monster. So all it does is just grind higher. Just let it go. I mean, there's not really much to say or do with it, is there? Maybe you wait for a dip to get involved, but I really don't see the sense in doing a whole heck of a lot there. I don't know. I can't chase stuff like that right now, dude. Not in this kind of market. And people are like, oh, market's hitting highs. I don't know. Maybe. NXT, would they crush? Yeah. I mean, again, what got you there? 10,000 shares, 20,000 shares? I don't know, man. I'd be super suspect of stuff like that today. TPI I was looking at. Good morning from Athens. Good morning from Miami. NBIS. So I really like this name. I guess you're up because of Oracle. I'm not really sure. It did everything it needed to do yesterday. You came all the way back down to 55. You held. You're lifting again today. Everybody's getting giddy with it. Yesterday was really the day because you didn't hit the lower low. You have your support in here. So yesterday was really the day to kind of get involved with it, right? If you took a look at the RSI and got rid of where you are, like, this makes perfect sense to me. You're oversold historically when you get to this level. If you take a look at the chart historically, it holds in here on these like sharp bounces down. So you have a lot going for you with that name. And I'm definitely paying attention to it. I just don't know that I need to rush into anything. So when I have markets like this, I tend to be last. And I'm okay with it because I'll get some kind of pullback. But yeah, I could see why people are looking at this. It should be on this list today, actually. I could see why people are looking at this, and it's got a lot going for it. Like, you worked it all off, all of it. And the problems that these companies solve still exist. So yeah, this does make a lot of sense. It does, because you really want to find those names that came down to an institutional level and found support. The question is, do you have to do them, right now? I don't know that you do. And I think that you can, find yourself, a little overextended on some of these. But I do like that name a lot. And I think that name's going to be an absolute freaking monster. What's up, Aaron? I don't know. I've been in and out. I have a position in it. I don't have a clue. Everyone was excited in Japan 3 days ago for 4 days ago, everyone was excited that they could get an orange phone. Then there was another article out that they were cutting back. Apple was telling the suppliers to cut back. Nobody wants the orange phone. it's like you really have no idea anymore. There's so much like garbage out there. So do I think you're going to stay over that today? I would be absolutely 100% shocked if you did, like, if the market's going to stay flat, right? If the market is going to stay flat, pardon me, then I think it goes. Then I think it goes. The NBIS is super interesting, brother. Like super interesting trade. Stay with me 1 second. I got this thing on that I have no idea what it is, but the chart moved and I bought the chart. This is a great weekend for all the hostile offers to come in. I don't know, man. Hey, Aaron, I don't know about that, brother. I really don't. I'm not touching target. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you know, you get these CEOs and they're supposed to be so great. And I mean, I just don't know how you destroy this thing. I mean, they destroyed this company. God, I don't think we've ever seen anything like it. It's not something that I can even go near. I didn't have words. I just stuttered. Like, I don't even have words for it. Like, no, I wouldn't go near it, man. I saw that. I think that the one thing that people are doing a really bad job of, you know, I had a day trade in this that actually turned out like fairly well. I still have the damn thing. And I came in short. So I was thinking a lot about this. And I had somebody that knows this space like cold. And they told me like literally 100 points ago. And they know this shit. Excuse my language. I functioning on like 4 hours of sleep. Like if you want to buy quantum and you don't own IBM, you don't own quantum. And I'm very fortunate, you know, we all are that's in that community. Like we have people in that room that are like true experts that are like, we've got guys in there that actually make like the NVIDIA chips. Like there's some really smart people in there. The content creates the culture, you know, as I like to say, but I would not think that IBM is making something up. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is really interesting to me because that's like an avenue that I never really thought about with AMD. I just like calling it a pig because it annoys people. But and I seem to enjoy that, which probably says something about me. But I'm not paying up 10, but that might be a mistake. I think the mistake is not owning IBM. I really do. I think the mistake's not owning IBM. So I'm probably going to sit with that position. I don't know that I would chase AMD, but I do know what they're saying is they're saying that we don't need NVIDIA. And IBM has there's a real corporate culture there. I have a friend that's been there forever and forever. And they have a real good, solid corporate culture. They're not out like making moves. It's about the company. So like, they're not out just saying stuff. So I definitely think there's something to it. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't sleep on that, man. Like they wouldn't just say that, dude. Like they just wouldn't say that. What's up, Tariq? Couldn't trade yesterday. I don't even know what those words mean. Yeah, that's just not working. Shock, the penny stock's not working, right? Good morning. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Good morning from Montreal. Good morning from Miami. I do not have a cat. Yep, another batch will be going out soon. I'm just still getting through them. Bro, I do more by 5 a.m. You have no idea what's going on here. You don't have a clue. Wow. Maybe, but they need to buy bonds anyway, right? So maybe. Went from Second Avenue. Good morning from Naples. I like Naples a lot. What's up, D? Naples is beautiful. What's up, Steve? GEV, I really liked it. That move the other day, it was just kind of crazy. You're seeing these primary moves like this, and then the secondary moves are just freaking insane, man. So, and I think a lot of that has to do with the ETFs in the option market. Like they're just slaughtering people. You're getting great news and then they're still killing it. So we'll see. I do think it's unreliable. CPI. I do think it is. I do like the GEV, Stephen. I don't know that I want to rush into it. I'm just going through all this to make sure that there's something pertinent. I do think you have to look at this. I really I'm trying to wrap my noodle around this, man. This is one of those things that I had nailed, and it never gets old. 27 years of doing this shit. Excuse my language again. But it never gets old, man. Like I had this thing nailed. I've got my whole map out here that I did in the community on like how I view this world. We had this nailed at like $50, and I traded it, but I didn't make anywhere near this. Like not even freaking close to what I should have made on this thing. And this whole space, even like Micron, the whole space, man, it's going higher. So it is what it is. Let me go through this real quick. Defend is interesting for sure. No, I just don't sleep. Like usually I get 5, but for whatever reason. It's super interesting there because I had a big LABU trade on, and it literally was like, it was like the worst day. It was like literally the worst day to do that. I would be super careful there. I think you're better off picking the names. I got to jump. I'm super late. Trade to win, guys. Have a good weekend. Watch Saturday's video. I have it all mapped out already.